Now, but you have to excuse me if you did. Just got to shower, hair's a little fucked up. But we're back, man. UFC Newark in the books. UFC Uruguay, Montenegro, Uruguay, directly in front of us. We got Dana White Tuesday Night Contender Series coming up. I have that going in the background, so whenever it comes on, we'll hear it. And uh-oh. You guys can't hear me, can you? I see. Hopefully it doesn't mean anything, but it's not lighting up green, so I would have to assume that means you can't hear me. No? Whatever. Wherever the fuck the sound's coming from. It's going through my fucking speakers, so it means it's going through everyone's speakers. Let me get the link real quick, put it on the Barbecue Pit Facebook where everybody can catch pretty much everything you can catch on Twitter or Instagram. We post everything on all three social medias. So anything we got coming up, sure to go to Barbecue Pit on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram to figure out what we got going on. It's a good one coming up. I mean, it's not that deep, but the co-main event and the main event should be enough to have people watching. At what time? I forget. Is it going to be at? I think I looked this up last week, but I'm going to look it up again to see what time they're going to be at in Uruguay on the Eastern Coast. Should be at an odd time. Main card starts at 8. Prelims start at 5. Not bad. Not bad for a card that's overseas. It's pretty good. This card starts off Enrique Barboza going up against Bobby Moffett. Barboza's 15-4, 5-2 in the UFC. So he's been in for 7 fights now. He's got wins over Gabriel Benitez, Chris Avila, and Brandon Davis. His 2 losses are both to Kyle Bosniak and Kevin Aguilar. And he's never been finished, so it's good to he's going against a guy that does very well finishing, and he's never been finished. Kind of one of those situations where Antonia Shevchenko just got her first submission win. She had never subbed somebody, and you could see prevalent in the first round of her fight. She was making it a point to go after submission after submission after submission to get that done. Bobby Moffett's 14-4 in MMA, 1-1 in the UFC. He got into the UFC with a submission on the Contender Series over Jacob Kilburn, who we just seen fight in Island Fights, I think this past Saturday or Friday. He beat Chad Skelly and lost to Bryce Mitchell. He's 8 out of his 14 wins are via submission. So he's a submission artist. He finishes whenever he can via submission. It's going to be interesting going up against a guy like Barboza, who has never been finished in his career. Now, Moffett's a little bit more green per se when it comes to the UFC caliber competition. So I'm going to have to go Enrique Barboza probably by some sort of a decision, but that's what my opinion of that's going to be is probably a decision from Enrique Barboza. Let me just make sure I'm not missing something here. Oh yes, I am. It's fucking frozen. It's fucking frozen, which means that it started. It just fucking froze up, so it didn't notify me that it started. Let's see if we can get this to load here. Rondaflo Vieira versus Oscar Pichota. Fucking getting a little accent when I say it. But Vieira's as deep in the submission game as it can get. 109 is his submission record. 100 wins, 9 losses with submission grappling. He's beaten Rafael Lovato Jr. 3 times. He's lost to him once in grappling. He's beat Ben Henderson, AJ Agazam, Alan Belcher, and he's 3-4 against Marcus Almeida. So he's went up against Marcus Almeida 4 or 7 times in grappling matches. And we all know the reputation of Marcus Almeida. It puts him in great company when it comes to comparing him to certain people in the submission world and the grappling world, whatever kind of world you want to consider that to be, puts him in high rank up there, going against Marcus Almeida so many times. Let's see. He's making his UFC debut. He's 5-0. His last 3 fights have all been for ACB, so he's been out in Russia or wherever, you know. The guy he's fighting, Oscar Pijota's 11-1-1, 2-1 in the UFC. His last fight was submission loss to Gerald Mearshart. We just see him fight on UFC Newark. 10 out of 11 of his wins are finishes. His only loss was by a submission. The great Vieira here is a submission artist. He makes that happen. And if Shota is going to be submitted by Gerald Mearshart, I'm pretty sure that even though MMA math, fighting math, shit like that doesn't necessarily work, I'm pretty sure if your level of skill will get submitted by Gerald Mearshart, your level of skill will get submitted by Randolfo Vieira. So I got Vieira by submission, first, second round. I think it's going to be an early one. As soon as he gets it to the ground. The fight after that is going to be Volkan Oezdemir Latifi, which we were supposed to see a few times in the past. We're just now getting to see it. It's coming at a good time for both fighters, I'd say. Latifi going on kind of a back-and-forth streak in his career, where Volkan Oezdemir is currently riding a 3-fight losing streak. He's got losses over Cormier for the title. They gave him the title fight. He lost to Cormier. He then lost by submission to Anthony Smith and lost to Dominic Reyes most recently. 12 out of 16 of his wins are via knockout, which is going to come into play a little bit later. Hold on just a second. Latifi, last fight was a loss in December by decision to Corey Anderson. He's got wins over OSP, Tyson Pedro, Gian Vellante, Sean O'Connell. 10 out of 14 of his wins are finishes. 3 out of 6 of his losses are via knockout or TKO. Power striker of Volkan, wrestling power of Latifi. Anthony Smith was able to take Volkan down. Dave Cormier was able to take Volkan down. Why wouldn't Latifi, you ask? My question is, my answer would be is that he can. He probably can take him down. The question is, will he shoot for the takedown very early in the fight? I don't think he will. I think every fight starts standing up, and Latifi's going to feel his way out standing up. He's going to get clipped, knocked out. Volkan Oezdemir via some kind of TKO or knockout in one of the first 2 rounds would be my pick there. The next one, the next fight is very green to my eyes. First time I'm hearing about one of these fighters. Second time only I've heard about the other fighter. Humberto Benaday versus Luis Garagorri. 15-6 for Benaday. 1-2 in the UFC. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Austin Arnett and Gabriel Benitez. He's 12 out of 15 of his wins are via finish, and 4 out of 6 of his losses are via submission. He is coming out of King of the Cage, so kind of a southeastern promotion coming into the UFC. Luis is 12-0, making his UFC debut on home turf. He's from Montenegro, Uruguay. 9 out of 11 of his wins are finishes. 5 are submissions. 5 submission wins out of 11 of his total wins. Almost half of his wins are submissions, and more than half of Humberto's losses are via submission. So I think it's kind of a clear cut. When somebody has such a diverse grappling game, they could finish at any point. And then you got a guy who normally is susceptible to getting submitted. I feel like that's going to happen. I'm not going to bet against it. That's my vantage point of that particular fight is I'm not going to bet against it. So I got the newcomer, UFC debut, home country, Luis Garagorri, by some kind of submission, or maybe he just grapples him until he can finish, until he can ground out a submission, But either way, I got Luis on this one here. Which brings us to the co-main event. Mike Perry and Vicente Luque, 2 strikers. Vicente Luque obviously proven himself to be more of a controlled striker, a guy that's going to pick his punches, pick his strikes, get in and get out, where Mike Perry is more of a stand and bang, throw down, caution to the wind, chin made of granite, so he's not going to go down. He truly is the definition of a power puncher at the welterweight division. Undersized for welterweight, but still has the power to be there. 13-4 in MMA, 6-4 in the UFC. All of his losses coming within the UFC. He's got wins over Alex Oliveira, Cowboy Oliveira, Paul Feldner, Alex Reyes. That was supposed to be Thiago Alves, but Alves. I think something happened. There was a hurricane or something, and he didn't evacuate the hurricane area in time, so he was trapped. He could not leave Florida before the fight. So he fought Alex Reyes, beat him up. He knocked out Jake Ellenberger. He beat Danny Roberts. And then Hung-Gu Lim, all that controversy that happened in his UFC debut, he also knocked him out. His losses are Alan Jouban, counter striker, Santiago Ponzinibbio, one of the best strikers in welterweight division right now. Max Griffin, another counter striker, and then Donald Cerrone, just veteran in every sense of the word, and was able to get Mike Perry to his weakness, which was to the mat, and he was able to submit him. I don't think Vicente Luque is going to be looking for that. He's 16-6, 9-2 in the UFC. His only losses are to Leon Edwards and then his UFC debut to Michael Graves. He's got wins over Haider Hassan, Biel Muhammad, Nico Price, Chad Laprise, Jalen Turner, Brian Barberena, and then most recently against Derek Krantz, the newcomer from LFA. 9 out of his 16 wins are via knockout. He's never been knocked out, which I believe Mike Perry, 11 out of 13 of his wins are via knockout, and he's also never been knocked out. So a game of two guys who are power strikers. They normally finish via knockout or TKO, and both fighters have never been knocked out. So it's going to be great to see. If it goes Vicente Luque's way, I think it's going to go to a decision, but I am a huge Mike Perry fan. So just completely based on bias, I'm going Mike Perry, knockout first round. Very exciting. I hope it happens. Which brings us to Valentina Shevchenko defending her title again. To a very, very interesting opponent, as I might say. Valentina Shevchenko is 17-3. Her 3 losses come to Amanda Nunes twice at the weight class above that, 135, and Liz Carmouche before they got into the UFC at a local promotion. So it's very interesting to see that they're going to give Liz Carmouche another title shot in the UFC, mainly probably because she has already beaten Valentina before. They kind of want to see is Valentina progressed enough to beat her, or does she just have Valentina's number? Carmouche is 35, so she's up there. I don't know how long she would have the belt, even if she won. Shevchenko beat Joanna for the vacant belt back in December. Then she knocked out Jessica Ai over in June. We talked about her 3 losses. Before that, she was on a crazy tear, only losing to Amanda Nunes in the UFC. 12 out of her 17 wins are finishes. She's never been submitted, and she's only been knocked out once, which is technically a doctor stoppage by Liz Carmouche back in her pre-UFC days. And I don't consider that a knockout. So if I'm doing the scorecards or the fucking stats or whatever that you want to call them, she has never been finished. But got that one little asterisk there. Carmouche is 13-6, 5-4 in the UFC. She wins over Lucia Pudilova. We just seen fight Antonia Shevchenko, Jennifer Maia, Caitlin Chikadian, Lauren Murphy, and Jessica Andrade. Her losses include Ronda Rousey, Alexis Davis twice, and Miesha Tate. She's 8 out of 13 of her wins are via finish. She's only been submitted twice, which is almost the same kind of stats as you would look at as Valentina Shevchenko as far as been finished, submissions, wins, almost identical there. So it's going to be a very good, I think, what's the word I'm looking for? Technical, just, I don't know. I don't really know what the word I'm looking for right now is, but it's going to be a very good fight, I believe. I think Valentina Shevchenko retains her 125-pound title, and then I don't know really what she's looking at after that. Maybe a super fight, Jessica Andrade, if she wins the Wally Zhang. Maybe Hell, maybe Tatiana Suarez comes up. Or is that Suarez division? That might be Suarez division. So maybe Tatiana Suarez is next. They got a couple good, things that they could throw at her after this fight. I don't think this needed to be the fight, to be honest. Liz Carmouche was supposed to fight Roxanne Modafferi, I think 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago in Newark. I don't know. It was supposed to happen relatively recently, and they pulled her from that fight just to make this fight. So, also on the card, you got Tisha Torres, Veronica Masendo fighting Paulina Viana, and Alexi Kunchko. Alexi Kunichko versus Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns, whose younger brother Herbert Burns will be competing a little bit later in this Dana White's Contender Series card here. But first, the first fight of the night for the Contender Series is going to be Dwight Joseph versus Jay Farron. Jay Farron's 8-3 out of New Hampshire. He's had a few fights for NEF and Bellator. Most of his fights been for Cage Titans. Dwight Joseph's a 9-1 fighter out of Nebraska. I guess originally he was from Maranova, Libria, Libera, whatever the fuck that's from. But training and residing out of Nebraska. Uriah Fabe in his corner. And this guy, I think I know this guy too. 6-fight win streak, 3 wins by knockout, 3 by submission. Trains at Alpha Male in Sacramento, California. So where did I get Nebraska from? This fucking Topology page says Nebraska. Strange. Whatever. That guy looks so familiar that's standing behind him. I wish I would remember where we've seen this guy from. You would have to think it's just another alpha male fighter, but I think it's something different. What, I get banned from Totally I Learned now? (5'6" versus 5'7". Dwight Joseph's 29 to Jason Perrin's 26, a little bit younger. Let's see, guys. Let's see who really wants that contract. Herb Dean as the ref. Meeting the center of the octagon here. Leg kicks immediately from Joseph. Outside leg kicks. 2 back-to-back. Southpaw stance for Joseph when the orthodox stance for Perrin. Slight trip takedown for Perrin. Straight into Joseph's guard. Trying to push him up against the cage here. Reversal attempt from Joseph has failed. Let's see. Looks like he's going to keep trying to go for the same reversal. Reposition his legs. Oh, he's got it. He's back up. Perrin attacks with a 1-2 and immediately is susceptible to the takedown of Joseph, who now just has him in a clinch and over-under up against the cage here. Short elbows in here for Perrin. Ooh, body kick lands from Joseph. Ooh, big left hand from Joseph. Head kick misses from Perrin. Another leg kick being thrown in there by Joseph. These guys are very active in this first round. I still think it's incredible to watch these guys and realize like they're like one half of a step away from realizing their dream right now while they're in there fighting, and they got to just somehow figure out a way to put this guy away and look impressive to finally reach their dream. Joseph crazy with the feints right now, faking everything except what he's throwing. Outside calf with Perrin's getting a little red from those low kicks. Big uppercut just misses from Joseph. Another low kick from Joseph. It's like a little bit of fatigue is set in for both men. He looked extremely fresh to start. Joseph going in for a single. Picks him up and puts him down. Takes his back. Round and pound from the top here. Got the right hook in. Can't get the left one in. So it's up against the cage. Joseph's really loading up on those punches now. Fakes a switch kick. And another left there, Joseph. Brent's got a chin on him, man. And I wonder if it's necessarily how much of a chin these guys have, or if it's like, are they just willing to go through that much because of what's at stake here? Ten seconds left in the first. Perrin lands his clean left. Spinning wheel kick misses from Joseph. That was a big left hand that landed. Somehow Perrin stays with his wits there. Shit, Boyle. My parents' 25th anniversary today, so happy anniversary to my parents. Without them, wouldn't be here. Wouldn't be here, youngins. So thank the Lord for those two. Got a little blood coming from the mouth of Joseph. Both men have been taking pretty clean shots, a couple of them. Twelve to 8 with significant strikes, not that different. Slight advantage going to Joseph. Now the big left hand lands, but just kind of glides off the side of his head there. Joseph has a powerful left. Powerful straight, powerful looks like a hook. That one that he keeps landing looks like a hook to me. Joseph looked deep on a guillotine. He just lost it. Oh, he got it back. Got it back, and Perrin is kind of trying hard to get out of it. Tries to base up a little bit. Yeah, how long is Joseph going to be able to hold this for? It just gasses his arms. He doesn't have the hand slipped all the way through. Yeah, it's not tight. He can obviously breathe just fine and pops his head out. And now you got to think Joseph's arms are probably significantly tired compared to before the choke attempt. Hanging out in Joseph's guard here, just giving him some ground and pound. Joseph, way more tired than earlier, not getting. Looks to try to grab up the neck again, but Perrin immediately jumps half guard and gets out of danger of the choke. Another takedown attempt from Perrin is stuffed this time as they get up. Now Joseph has Perrin up against the cage. Big elbow as they disengage by Joseph. Joseph looks way tired. Especially compared to Perrin, who's just kind of staying on the outside and still looks just as fresh as when they started. He just kind of is waiting and waiting and waiting for Joseph to wear himself out almost. 40 seconds left here in the second round. Elbow in the clinch from Perrin as they disengage. Joseph still winding up big on that left hand. Oh, nice combo from Joseph there. Obvious that he's tired, but he just landed two clean punches. Sick of chasing him now. They're going to probably take this into the third. Yep. Joseph was obviously tired, appearing fresh, but still kind of, it's like who knows really where this fight's going to go, because I believe as far as striking-wise, Joseph's definitely winning this. Grappling-wise, he's in on a submission attempt, but it was never really threatening. It's hard to say whether they'll kind of even out the submission attempts versus the striking, or whether they just take that submission attempt as completely defense and give the second round to Perrin. It is granite chin, though. Stays walking through these elbows, big left hands. Jace Brenn's a tough guy. I'm sure either one of these guys, Dan White would be exceptionally happy to have here. One guy knows how to walk through a punch. The guy knows how to deliver one. So. Joseph laying another one of those stiff left hands, man. Perrin just keeps coming at him. Another one, too. Perrin shakes his head, shakes it off, but it landed clean, dude. Perrin picks him up on a double leg, slams him down. Sitting in Joseph's half guard here. Great game plan, though. Even if he lost that first round, he takes him down in the second round. He gets him really tired out. Third round comes, and it's almost impossible to defend that takedown when you're as fresh as Perrin is. 3 out of 5 of his takedowns have been completed. Only 1 out of 4 of Joseph's takedowns have been completed. But when you're as fresh as Perrin is, it's kind of impossible not to get the takedown against a guy who's as tired as Joseph is right now. Yeah, I'm with Dominic Cruz. He had a good point there. Perrin looks very good. He looks good, like as far as he had a good game plan. He knew exactly what to do to come in here and win on the judges' scorecards. And he's somewhat executing that up until maybe this point in the third round. But, you know, he hasn't really had any kind of times where he's shown that he's trying to finish the fight. You know, he hasn't landed anything big. He hasn't thrown up any submissions. He hasn't really done anything to show that he's trying to finish the fight, whereas Joseph, pretty much every strike that he lands, it's like surprising that he didn't finish the fight, you know? Perrin going for another takedown, gets it. That's 4 out of 6 for him. Side control here from Perrin. Joseph's got his feet on the cage. Falls off. Perrin's got his back. Let's sink in the rear naked choke. He's got one hook in. Good thing he's going to look for the body triangle here. Roll to the other side and get the body triangle. He looked at Perrin, tried to move in the mount, and he lost it. And now you got Joseph on top in Perrin's guard here. That was a great reversal from Perrin to get back up. Fortunately, Joseph just got on his neck, immediately throwing some knees as they get up. Joseph looks gassed, but he's not giving up, man. He's throwing those power punches in there still. Throwing knees at any chance he can. Got less than a minute left here. Come on. Ooh, head kick is blocked from Joseph. Left hand lands cleaned again. 41-38 now. Joseph is losing by 3 in total strikes. How the tables have turned here. See, he's in on a takedown. Looks like he doesn't get this. He's 1 for 5 on takedowns. Yeah, and he abandons it. He's 1 for 5 on takedowns now, whereas his opponent Perrin is 4 for 6 on takedowns. 10 seconds left. Let's see what happens. Oh, Perrin, let's go. Looks like they're going to swing in the middle of the octagon. Nope. Perrin gets on his bike. Gets immediately on his bike thinking he's got to win. That shit would piss me off, man. Get on your bike in the last 10 seconds. You fucking... Oh. Oh, man. It angers me. See what Dana's talking about during the fights.
Strikes went to Joseph. Here's the third round here. We'll see another takedown timed underneath the strikes. Dwight Joseph, it locks the hand, slams him to the floor, gets straight to side mount. Excuse me, half guard. He's got an underhook. He times another nice takedown. Left hook, right straight, left uppercut, straight to a double. He transitions to a single leg here with his head on the inside, goes to dump it. Because of the guillotine attempt from Joseph, he gets taken down. So it's really a question of what do you like more? Do you like the grappler? Do you like the guy who had top position for the vast majority of the fight? Or do you remember the significant blows landed by the impressive-looking Dwight Joseph? Well, it comes down to what the judges like and then what Dana likes. Those are two different opinions. Well, we're going to find out right now.
Yeah, I don't think Dana. I think it's going to go one of two ways. I think your man Perrin doesn't have a chance if he wins this. Let's see. 29-28 Joseph. And I think that was only so that Dana White could sign him, because if Perrin got the contract, he wasn't getting signed. Perrin, whatever. Liberia, sorry, I fucking murdered the pronunciation of your country, but Liberia.
His career, certainly a lot of happy teammates.
10-1-1 is.
Team Alpha Male, favor and company responsible for training Dwight Joseph.
I think I see Nico Montano over there in the corner. It's kind of cool to watch these things just to see who you see, because I believe it's still free to walk in there unless they've changed that rule, but if it's free, that's pretty interesting to see exactly who's there watching it. Nico Montano and, of course, Uriah Faber. His entire family greets him. Training with Team Alpha Male since 2015. Let's hear what he has to say.
He realizes a win doesn't always get you the contract, but you know what? It's a win. On the Contender Series, let's send it to Laura.
Thanks so much, guys. Dwight, wow, what a crazy fight. A very, very close fight. When I was reading that decision now, did you feel like you'd done enough to get the judges' scorecards?
Yeah, I knew it was a close one. It was very tough. I didn't get off like I wanted to. He was catching some of my kicks. I wish I would have kicked him more. But it was a tough fight. He's a tough competitor. And I'm just happy we pulled it off,
You just apologized to the cameras you were walking out here. Why'd you do that? What's the thought?
Well, I wanted to showcase more of my skills. I'm much better than I performed. I was only able to show a little bit. And like I said...
everybody says that. Everybody says they're much better than they perform. They want the contract, man. There's a specific reason why you're there, and that's to get a UFC contract. And if you didn't perform, if you fought a very good guy, that's not going to let you perform the way that you think that you're, the way that you feel about your skill level, then of course you're going to get out and say you're sorry and you felt like you didn't fight up to your skill level. No, man, you just fought a dude that's a fucking probably on the same skill level as you, if not better. So it's the only reason that you didn't get off the way you said you wanted to, but still don't think that's enough. That's something to apologize for, man. I mean, at least you got out there and you were trying to finish the fight. Whereas you look at the other guy who wasn't trying to finish, was just only specifically trying to, win the fight. He had a specific game plan, and he wanted to stick to that game plan to win. I think that's what you do once you're in the UFC. I don't think that's what you're supposed to do when you're not in the UFC and you're trying to get the boss's attention to put you in the UFC. So, guess you live and you learn for this guy. But I still think he might get the contract, man. He was the entire time trying to finish. Power punches, knees in the last minute, power punches to the body. I don't think there was one punch that he threw that didn't look like he was attempting to knock the guy out. And that is Darren Elkins in his corner there.
He's a very talented man. I'm happy that I got, picked to compete up here. Next time I'm going to do better, I promise.
Congrats on a very hard-fought win.
Thank you.
Go enjoy your victory. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Dwight Joseph, realizing he was looking at himself when he's talking on camera. It's okay, Dom. It happens to all of us. Gets the big win. A 7-fight win streak now for Dwight Joseph. Up next, we're at middleweight. Tombstone Taylor Johnson, owner of the fastest knockout in LFA history, in just 8 seconds, facing what should be a stiff test against the experienced Andre Muniz, who's been fighting his professional.
Taylor Johnson, 5-0 at LFA. Quickest knockout in LFA history of 8 seconds. So that's awesome. He's going against Andre Muniz, who won on the Contender Series last year by decision. Wasn't enough to get him the contract. Taylor Johnson, 5-0 out of Cali. Like we just said, he's been fighting for LFA. I think 4 out of 5 of his fights are for LFA. So he has a very high level of competition he's fought in his career. Middleweight bouts to 185. I was about to say Johnson looks fucking huge, man. This wasn't middleweight. I would have been fucking scared for welterweight people of the UFC, because this guy, I don't know that he's definitely going to get it, but he's a big dude, man. And apparently Jay Perrin coming from the northeast side. Ryan Hounds and FCF. Yeah, I think we're up for a pretty good middleweight contest here. Let's see what happens. Donnie Coyle, Roosevelt Archie, September 1st. What is that? Made Men Promotions. Oh, it's an amateur. SD Dumas is going to be fighting in an amateur card later on this month, maybe early next month, for Allen Fights 59's all amateur card. And he has said that he believes this will be his last amateur fight. So SD Dumas going pro after this fight. It'll be exciting to see. He's trying to get himself over to Jackson Wink. He's currently in Florida, so I'm not too sure who he's training with right now. 10th Planet, maybe, something like that out there in Florida. But he's looking to make the move up to Albuquerque and go train at Jackson's Winks. This guy Muniz fractured his skull. Came back from that in the next fight. He broke his jaw. He said that was a tough year for me. I mean, that's a tough break. Fractured skull and broken jaw. So everything will change for the better because I'm going to get this contract. I mean, I'm not saying that Taylor Johnson's a shoo-in for it. I just thought that this was a welterweight fight. And if it was a welterweight fight, I'd tell him he's a shoo-in because he's fucking huge for welterweight. But, who knows? This other guy, Muniz, fucking way more experienced. 21 pro fights to Taylor Johnson's 5 pro fights. So, former MMA fighter. My guy Mo screams on you fighting with somebody now. Bet he couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag. Disney releases a bundle, $12.99 for Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and something else, fucking like Hulu or some shit. $12.99 a month. Fuck out of here. He might be cursed, guys. Yeah, the Greek dude who picks all the fights, he's got the wrong picks, man. Oh shit! Oh shit! Taylor Johnson comes out like a madman and attacks him. Gets a fucking right hand from hell. Almost gets dropped. Double leg takedown. Now he has him up against on the ground. Crazy ground and pound here. You could tell why he got that 8-second finish in LFA. Oh! Armbar attempt here from Muniz. Oh my lord, Taylor Johnson's a nut job, dude. That dude was a man on a mission for the first 30 seconds. Here we are a minute into the fight now, and Muniz has taken his back completely. Both hooks in. There's a good and a bad side to coming out hot like that. Coming out guns blazing. He lost the left hook now. He only has the right hook in. He's going to look to get that rear naked choke anyway. Oh, he's pulling it through. Looks like it's more of a neck crank right now, but he's got it in. Oh, tap. Gets the win, baby. He guaranteed it, and he got it. Guaranteed it, and he got it. Taylor Johnson came out like a maniac, and that was ultimately his downfall.
When you watch his film, he's also being nailed. And right there, we saw Taylor Johnson beat a hammer early, but when it was time to be the nail, Luis got the better of it. Right here, big right hand, and then he gets countered.
Yeah, it was a big right hand. Yep, set him down. Taylor Johnson immediately throws the takedown, double leg slam. Ground and pound, nothing's landing to those ground and pound shots that he had. And immediately when he got reversed, he got put in that, he got his back taken. Slowly sank that choke in. Started as a neck crank. I guess the neck crank became too much and it slid underneath the chin. He's getting that contract there, well. And I said how big Taylor Johnson was. This guy, Andre Muniz, is fucking slightly bigger, man. Muscle-wise, and then also slightly taller. Oh, he's got Thiago Santos in his corner. I'm fucking hobbling around on crutches and shit. That's tight. See if I can see anybody else here. Catch anybody else? Big guy, no. Let's hear what he's got to say. Small cut under his right eye, but I don't think he's worried about that right now with the UFC contract almost in his pocket.
Waiting on his translator, hoping for that
Mission in Contender Series history. How good does that feel?
Fourth fastest submission in Contender Series history.
Como é que você se sente? Estou realizado por tudo que eu passei para chegar até aqui e poder a prova ali. É minha segunda luta no Contender, minha segunda vitória. Eu tenho certeza que eu tenho um jogo para estar no UFC. Eu espero que o Dana me dê a oportunidade. I'm very happy to be here again and win the second fight in the Contender Series. I'm very happy because I spend a lot of time at distance to my family, and I would like to Dana White contract me.
Well, you came in with the BJJ accolades. He had the wrestling accolades. How confident were you that your BJJ would overcome his wrestling?
Next, we got Herbert Burns, brother of Gilbert Burns, fighting Derek Minner. Derek Minner's 22-9, 31 pro fights. He just beat Clay Collard in November, who just got his call back to the UFC. Gilbert Burns, 8-2, fighting mostly in Titan FC and ONE FC. He has wins over Luis Gomez and Timothy Nakasakian, who, as we can remember, just beat Eddie Alvarez back in March. So he beat a guy that beat Eddie Alvarez. I know there's no MMA math, but that's fucking impressive to me. He does have a loss to Moliv Kabulov, who's fighting right now in PFL, doing pretty well.
You know, and I train a lot. I would like to knock out him. I punch him very strong, but no problem. The victory is most important.
Well, since we last saw you on the Contender Series, you now have another daughter. What would this contract mean to your growing family?
Você não veio para cá, você tem uma filha nova, mais uma filha. O que esse contrato significa para você? Significa dar.
Portuguese is so different from Spanish, man. I can't follow along at all.
Talvez eu não possa dar. Então eu tinha que fazer tudo ou nada e eu fiz tudo lá dentro e consegui a vitória. Se eu esperar o Dan White agora, me dá a oportunidade.
That victory means give a best life for my daughters, and I can't do this before this fight, and I gave my best inside the cage, and I hope Dana White contract me.
Congratulations, fantastic news. Thank you so much.
Well, that seemed to be his go-to line. I hope Dana White contracts me. But again, I don't know like if there's like a Portuguese word for Dana and White, but I didn't hear him say anything remotely close to Dana White in any of the words he said. So I don't know. I guess I'll just never get Portuguese. Portuguese won't be my thing. And it looked like Timothy Johnson was, I mean, not Timothy Johnson, what am I thinking? Taylor Johnson was doing a lot of, damage with those ground and pounds. But when you look at it in slow motion, you can see he's missing pretty much every punch he throws down there. So no surprise the way it went. Yeah. Dwight from The Office having a little spit back and forth with Creed Bratton on Twitter. This kid on the street, are you Dwight? He says, nope. He said, yeah, you are. I'm the biggest Office fan. Can I get a picture? He said, what's my name? So I don't know. He walks off thinking, not the biggest Office fan. Creed Bratton writes, funny, I never have that problem. This Creed Bratton used the same fucking name on the show. I guess it's just that cool of a name. They were like, fuck it, we're gonna use this shit. This is what we going with right now. Sucks what happened with Kobe Covington and Robbie Lawler. I hate it. It definitely sucks, man, but shit happens. Look like he's gonna get his driver's seat just run straight over to the title fight. Sucks, but I think Jorge Masvidal deserves it. I don't think he should get it next anyway. And if he has to fight Jorge, I wouldn't see why the fight would go any different than Jorge and Ben Askren. So all you could do is hope, man. You got to hope for his streak to end sooner or later. I was the main one screaming that he didn't have enough. There wasn't enough under his belt to say this guy is high level. This guy's this guy's that. But I guess now there is. When you beat Robbie Lawler, could mean one of two things. Could mean Robbie Lawler's either falling off, or could mean that Kobe Covington is the real deal. Who knows? Only time will tell, man. His next fight's either going to be Jorge Masvidal or Kamaru Usman. So, to be honest, excuse me. He's definitely going to get put to the test in the next fight, without a doubt. even though I'm not really buying it. I think that I was completely wrong about Kobe Covington, and I think he is ready. It's all about place and time. I think he might have been ready this fight. What's going to happen next fight? We've seen the best Kamaru Usman we've ever seen in his last fight. Is it going to be the same Usman in his next fight? It's jumps from fight to fight every single time. It's different, so just got to see what we got when the ball is rolled to us. I won't pick him, Covington, over Usman or Masvidal. I won't pick him. But I must say that I do respect his fighting abilities now. Michael Brown. Striking coach Tacoma, Washington. Event workers for UFC football. Couldn't do it. I got a shout out to this dude Greg though that always be on here on YouTube. He's a big Kobe Covington fan, always saying Kobe would beat this guy, Kobe would beat that guy. I was never buying in, but guess buddy was right. Nebraska City, Nebraska. Does every state have is there Virginia City, Virginia, Maryland City, Maryland, New Jersey City, Jersey? Because they call New York City, Manhattan is what they call New York City. Nebraska City, Nebraska. Mexico City, Mexico. I was going to say Kansas City, but that's in Missouri. Kansas own state. That might have been the breaker right there. Kansas City is in Missouri, not Kansas. It's a little strange. It's a strong thought right there. Why is Mexico City in Mexico, but Kansas City is not in Kansas? Interesting enough for me to question, I'll tell you that. Brett Akamoto in the background right there. Let's see what he says in there. PFL 6 coming up this Thursday. So a little heads up on that. The light heavyweights and heavyweights round 2. We get to see Alex Nicholson, Kevin Tiller, a couple different good fighters fighting on Thursday. What the fuck? Lil Debbie sent Joanne Adams a care package of oatmeal cream pies. Unofficial caterer of my girlfriend's birthday. Oatmeal cream pies ain't that good, man. I ain't gonna flex straight, but it ain't that good. Gilbert Burns just got clipped with a big overhand right, and he looks to shoot immediately for the takedown. Pulls guard. Oh, no. Looks like Herbert Burns ain't getting no contract if Buddy could keep this standing, man. The 31-fight vet. He keeps standing up with this. Oh, he's going for a leg. Maybe going for a leg lock. Loses it. He's got Minner on his back now. Right hook is in. Let's see where the left hook goes. Excuse me, these fights always start relatively fast. Man, was beating him up, standing up, man. He's just got to disengage. I hear you, you're controlling it, but dude, you want to finish, you fucking slam. Was it for a slam? Disengages. Oh, he's throwing power. He's throwing power, dude. Oh, this guy is throwing major power, dude. Oh, guillotine choke. No. Loses it. Get back up. Minner, get the fuck back up, man. He is baiting you, bro. This guy is obviously very good at submissions. Get the fuck up. Minner's a nut job when he's standing up. He's fucking million strikes per second. He's throwing the whole kitchen cabinets at him. Fight Tuesday night. Come on, dude. Don't be getting in these spots, yeah. Elbows from the top of Minner. Oh, is he going to try to pull a fucking guillotine? Loses it. Still in a top position. That's good. Watch out for the armbar, bro. Oh, dude. Deep. And you fucking idiot. Just got choked out with a triangle choke. You're a fucking idiot, dude. You're winning that fucking, oh my God, dude. I can't. I try to be nice to all the fighters because I got to talk to them one day. But, dude, I know your coach is screaming at you this entire – after that first exchange, he's screaming at this guy. Get off the floor. Get off the floor. Also, Herbert Burns throws up what looks like it's going to be an armbar and gets his head in there and puts a triangle choke in. Chokes him out, and he taps out almost immediately, dude. You should not have been hanging around. He gave you chance after chance after chance just to fucking disengage with him and stand up. How hard is it? Just stand right here. Instead of throwing that punch, get back up. That one little tiny ass hammer fist that you tried to throw got you caught in a fucking triangle choke. Herbert Burns' brother gets a fucking contract he doesn't fucking deserve, dude. Or Gilbert Burns' brother. Gilbert Burns is a prick, man. He's the only UFC fighter that I've ever met that followed me on Twitter. I followed him back after he follows me, and then he unfollows me. Fucking prick. And his brother's a fucking submission artist that can't stand up to save his life. And just fucking won by the skin of his teeth right there because the other guy wasn't smart enough to stand up. I don't get it, man. I really don't get it. Like, he was beating the fuck out of him. It's very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Because the hype was all around Herbert Burns. So I like that type of stuff. I like when the hype gets shot down, you know, like, you're all hyped up about this guy. You know, you're not watching the other guys. And then the other guys that are there take that opportunity to show, like, nah, you should have been paying attention to me. You know what I mean? And that's exactly what Minner did, dude. And then fucking fucks around and gets choked out. Ali Abdelaziz is in the crowd there wearing a fucking dress. You don't deserve it, bro. All you have to do is stand back up. I think it's going to be the fucking. And I'll give him mad props. I mean, yeah, it's good that you landed it. The submission, it was a very good submission. It's just, you were desperate for the submission. You jumped the
I
guard.
was trying some hard shots, trying to protect myself. I get a position trying to choke. I knew it. That was it. And then great first round finish. Now hoping to get the contract. Enjoy my brother, the Burns brother coming. And that's it. Everyone from Brazil, thank you very much for the support. Everyone here from Hard Knocks 365, Combat Club, KJ. And that's it. We did it. We made it.
Well, he did land some shots on the feet, land a little bit of ground and pound. At any point, were you rattled or concerned in the fight?
No, I think he was going to come wild. He's always wild the way to fight. So we train all of that. Stay composed. If you get some shots, I saw this before. I didn't get walk or anything, so I just kept my composure. I knew the chance would appear. Anyhow, so I just kept the opportunity. He's throwing the elbow all the time, trying to. First one escape, I said, we are trying. So like I tried once, he posture up. The other time he tried, I already knew what you're going to do. I know your partner, I beat. I got the triangle lock thing.
Beautiful finish. I know your brother couldn't be here. He's got his fight coming up. I'm positive he's watching right now. What do you want to say to Gilbert?
Hey brother, do your thing Saturday. I did my thing. Pressures on you now. Family business. All the time we fight in the same week. We win. So pressures on you now. Let's go.
Congratulations, everything.
Pressure's on you now. He's got a weird accent. Don't sound Brazilian to me. Pressure's on you now. Now we got Marilla Santos versus Lurutskia Ria. Brazil versus Italy. 10-2 versus 7-2. Minus 230 favorite versus plus 190 underdog. Flyweight bout, so flyweight is 115? No, 125. What's the word for 115? Do they even have 115 anymore? That's a weight class? Hey man, I'm tripping. Flyweight. Strawweight, yeah. Strawweight, my bad. How could I forget about Jessica Andrade? And I lied about Tatiana Suarez too. Tatiana Suarez is in women's strawweight. So after she fights Carmouche, Shevchenko we're talking about, I think Caitlin Chikadian, Jennifer Maia. Guess it depends on what happens next. You want Calderwood or Murphy just got a big win. I don't think these are updated yet, but Antonio Shevchenko just got ranked at 125 at 15. Antonia's going to have to. I know exactly what's going to happen with the Shevchenko sisters to become the first sisters champions. Is Antonia's going to work her way up. As soon as she gets up, Valentina's going to vacate, and probably at that same time, Nunes will vacate her 35 pounds. So Valentina's going to fight for the vacant 35-pound belt against who are we talking? Duran Duraname, Keatlin Vieira, Holly Holm, Juliana Pena, Aspen Ladd. You know, she's got a lot of good choices there. I just don't think there's going to be any kind of, I don't think there's any challenge for her at the 135-pound division. Featherweight, women's featherweight, they don't even have anybody but the champion on here. So it's kind of sad to see. It's because they do have a lot of 145ers or a couple, you know. So, I mean, be nice to at least have like a top 5 or something like that. Lost her mom and was raised by her stepfather. Lost her sister a year later. Always keep going because this is my dream. Tonight I'm fighting. I've seen some of her fights. I'm sure she's a really tough athlete, but I'm sure I'm going to impose my game. Hey, a lot of people make that assessment that they're going to be victorious. Ken Shamrock has his own bare knuckle organization out now called Valor. So that's going to be exciting to see. 5-fight win streak, 100% finish rate, all 7 wins by first round submission. Judo black belt is Lorenzo Ria, the Italian. I'm still tripping off that last fight, man. You could see exactly where his chance to get up was. He was completely out of his leg, in between his legs. He's getting rocking back. He leans back in to throw a hammer fist, slightly lands the hammer fist, and immediately gets his hand grabbed, caught, pulled into a triangle choke. I don't know, man. I just see more there. Really did. Ryan Hall's a beast. Now, if Herbert Burns would have came out with like a Ryan Hall fucking Armani roll to grab a leg to fucking start a submission, I'd be down. But he was just so obviously desperate to get a takedown. I was kind of almost rooting for him not to get the takedown. Like he's shooting after he gets rocked a couple times. After the shot didn't work, they're in the clinch. He immediately jumps guard, pulls all his weight to the floor off the clinch. Back-to-back wins, Muay Thai black belt. Fought UFC veterans Waleed Zhang and Marlo Moreno Silva, which fought 2 UFC veterans, including one that's fighting for the title here. Oh shit. I wonder who he's talking about there. Why ain't gonna say who he's talking about? That's fucked up, man. Damn. I want to know what he's talking about. Welcome to the live chat. What happened to the thing? It died? This shit died on you guys? I had to bring it back. Bring it back to life. Over under by Santos here, looking to get a trip takedown possibly. Santos taking her back here. Both hooks are in. Rhea turns into it, into her guard. Immediately stands back up. Big, heavy punches from Rhea here. Oh, Santos gets up. Rhea's 7 fights straight with first-round submissions, so I don't know why she wouldn't want to be on the ground, but she gets back up. Knees to the body, knees to the body. Oh, nice right hand on the exchange, on the disengage there. On the break. Damn. I've been looking at that word for like 3 weeks straight. On the break. I'm on the disengage. Santos going in with elbows, knees. Oh, gets caught. Gets caught and immediately pulls guard. Reed's going in on that ground and pound. Armbar. Armbar from Santos. Beautiful defense by Rhea. Is she going to get it, though? "40 seconds ago, she's got her arm most of the way out of there. Dude, yank that motherfucker, man. "20 seconds. Belly down. Doesn't get it. Pulls back over. Can't get it. She lost it. You lost it, lady. Rhea was mad about that armbar attempt, too. She came back with the strength, quick on him. Second round, here we come. And for 7 straight first-round submissions, it's not Rhea going for a takedown. It's not really wanting to be on the floor at all. It is most definitely Marla Santos wanting to be on the ground, working her guard, rubber guard. Oh, I think they might have had those goddamn statistics backwards or some shit, man. Got a train going by. See if everybody can hear the train. Let me see if you guys can hear the train. If it's going, is it going horn again? Nah, that shit ain't good. You probably hear it when it's like right there, but as soon as it gets a little bit past, you ain't hearing that shit no more. Too far. Santos walking her down again. We're taking steps backwards. On a bicycle, is she going to try to counter strike here? She is, and she's almost immediately taken down. Santos has her an over-under here up against the cage. Nice right hand on the break there from Santos. Excuse me. Ooh, front kick from Rhea just barely misses. Catches one of Santos' kicks, brings her to the ground. You might want to get up, lady. Very slow get up there. This time Santos catches Rhea's leg, throws a right hand. Lands it. Ooh, lands another one. Oh, they're banging. Both women throwing hands big time. Zabit Magomed Sharipov will fight Calvin Kattar, UFC Boston. I believe that may be the main event there. Takedown from Rhea. Outside trip. Right into Santos's guard. Santos trying to work elbows from the bottom. Rhea keeps trying to attack those arm bars, man. She's not getting them. That's not, I mean, Rhea obviously has very good armbar defense. Oh, it's good position there. It's very good position there. Oh, Rhea jumps back over and gets out of it. Has her leg in a little bit of trouble now. Knee bar, knee bar. Very close quarters to have a knee bar. Oh, could get it face down though. Looks like she loses it. Both women just laying on the floor right next to each other. I hate to say like a woman fight versus a man fight's any different, but I mean, dude, you'll never see two men laying on the floor right in front of each other and not neither one trying to advance to get on top. They're just laying there like they both want to pull guard. Never will you see it. Oh, that knee bar's deep. And she lets it go immediately. And they're in the same stupid lay down position. What are we doing? Why do they both want to pull guard? This is the most awkward shit in the world. Now Rhea jumps in the half guard. I think Santos has to be like injured or something, man. Has to be. I don't see how she has this many opportunities to get up and get in a more dominant position on top and just doesn't take it, just lays there. And I could say the same for Rhea because she does it too for a second, but in both occasions, she was the one that got up off her back, jumped into half guard or full guard or wherever she got into. And the second round here ends with Rhea on top, dropping elbows. Get up. End of the second round, they're just laying on top of each other with exhaustion. Jesus, man. Dana better not give either one of these women a contract. I got nothing nice to say. I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it, man. This is crazy. Insane. Both women are doing very good standing up. I don't know why they both like to take it to the ground. They're both obviously very dangerous on the ground. Neither one is, I guess, pushing the action because they don't want to get caught in the other one's game. Fuck it, you guys are doing good standing up. You're brawling. That's what Dana White wants to see is a fucking brawl. He wants to see fucking you guys going crazy on each other, and that's what happens when you stand up. Not when you get a trip and you take it down, you guys are laying next to each other. It's fucking goofball, man. It's fucking goofball. And then you hug. Nice. Oh, double high five and a hug. That's what Dana wants to see. That's what he wants to see, girls. Let me tell you. Oh, big left hand there from Rhea. Oh, big left hand from Santos. Rhea having a hard time seeing, trying to clinch. Keep throwing those bombs, Santos. Slow head kick from Rhea. Gets blocked. Oh, Rhea's fucked up. She's banging, though. You can tell she's squinting. Something's wrong with her eyes, but she is banging. She won't stop throwing. Clinches up. There's a lackadaisical knee there. Straight left there from Rhea connects. Oh, man. Obviously having some trouble with her eyes there. Another takedown from Rhea, which was not the smartest idea, I don't think. Santos now has her pressed up against the cage in a clinch position. Who's Omar Morales and Harvey Park? 12-2, 7-0. Harvey Park's pretty good. I mean, damn, if it wasn't for the main event, shit, I'd be turning this off already. Or I'd be going inside. At least be stopping the fucking fight companion shit. Fight companion don't need to be these two chicks laying around and shit. We need to see some action. She has her in a very loose guillotine. And she's not going to let it go. You're just going to let your arms get tired out. You got 2.5 minutes left. 2.5 minutes left in the fight. She's just holding her in a guillotine position with her left hand. Doesn't have it with her right hand at all. Is not applying any pressure on the neck. And now Santos has got herself into a mount from that position. So now if she lets go, she has Santos in the mount on top of her. I was going to say, although neither one of these girls should get a contract, Rhea was probably win, but now look at you. You're on the bottom of a mount in the third and final round. And as soon as you let go of her neck, she's going to beat the fuck out of you because she's in mount. Damn it, man. Damn it, damn it, damn it. You can tell that arm's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. 56-40, Santos leads in significant strikes. And now they just land. Wouldn't be surprised if the camera turns to Dana White and he says, "Piss break." He jumps up and goes to the fucking bathroom right now with a minute and a half left in this round. As Rhea lets go and is now susceptible to a top mount of Santos here. Oh, good defense there. Good defense from Rhea, who flips over. Santos looking for an armbar. Rhea's got to put more pressure on that head, man. She's got to try to push towards the head. Oh, shit, man. That wasn't good. Knees to the body. She almost kicked her in the face, though. I think she might have landed a little bit on her face. Now Santos she's got that armbar position. She's just relaxing. She's not attacking at all. She's not going for the armbar. She's not yanking at the arm. Nothing. She's just relaxing in that armbar position. She knows that's a win position for her. And I think she's completely lost. If that's Rhea's hand right there in between her legs, Santos does not have the armbar at all. Now she's just laying in this position. If I'm Rhea, I'm pissed, dude. Especially if you lose this fight. What the fuck, man? Don't shake her hand, man. She ruined that for you, man. Ruined that for her, straight up. It's very disappointing. I had a lot of hopes for this fight here. Vision did go out in the third round at some point, though.
In this decision, Santos coming in, as I mentioned, the favorite with a 10-2 record.
You can't ever guarantee what the judge is going to see, but all you can do is look at what the judge before you try to make adjustments in your game to what they're seeing.
Very similar to every umpire in baseball has a different strike zone. So after an inning or two, you've adjusted, you know.
I think it's a little different, man. Yes, you're correct. Every umpire has a different strike zone, but the rules scoring of the fight shouldn't change from judge to judge. I understand it could, but it shouldn't. It shouldn't be like a thing that we accept like a strike zone. I think that's ridiculous. If that's the case, how do you know what to train for? How do you know how to prepare for a fight? How do you know how to make a game plan for a fight if everybody that judges the fight is going to be different? And yes, I know you're wanting to go out there and finish a fight, but if you don't have any kind of way to train. You don't have no way to game plan for a fight if you're going to tell me that everybody scores the fight different. Because I don't know any of them personally, you know?
Sanko makes her way into the octagon. We send it to Laura.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Junichiro Kamijo scores the bout 30-27 Santos. Judge Patricia Morse-Jarman scores the bout 29-28 Rhea. And Judge Glenn Trowbridge scores the bout 29-28 for your winner by split decision, Lucrezia Rhea.
Oh, they gave it to Rhea. Of course they did.
That's what I've been saying. Just never know.
That surprises me.
I mean, it always surprises fighters. But when you take it to the edge like that, you got a split decision. It's tough. You never know which way it's going to go.
30-27.
It's, like I said, it's hard to tell what the judges see.
30-27 is insane, man. How do you have one fighter winning every round and the other two judges have the opposite fighter winning 2 rounds to the other fighter's one? It's just, that's why I kind of understand how everybody's judging is different, but it just shouldn't be. There should be a certain rule set, criteria, whatever, that judges how somebody wins the fight. And she gets a pound from Dana White there, so it's a good sign. It's a good sign. Dana White's normally in his computer, not really doing anything, but he's giving her attention as she walks by.
Makes her way over to Laura. And the fact that she had never been past the second round in her career and gets this win via decision says a lot about this young lady. Laura?
She need a translator here?
Thank you very much, guys. Lucrezia, what a hard-fought fight. An amazing battle. You went out there and stood toe-to-toe with her despite her being the striker in this matchup. Were you looking to prove something this fight?
Hai fatto una battaglia eccezionale, pure che lei era lo striker in questo incontro, mi hai fatto vedere insomma che tu sei fatta la stessa pasta, diciamo, dai.
I tried. So we work so hard for striking in this last year. In this fight, I really wanted to show how we are work about striking. So
It's going to be very interesting to see who exactly gets the contract here.
I think that is how we work.
I would say she did great. You also caught a lot of her kicks, got the takedowns off that. Was that something that you saw coming into this fight in terms of an opportunity to get the fight to the ground?
Hai preso qualsiasi volta ti dato il calcio, gli hai preso la gamba e l'hai riportata in
I
terra.
think as of right now, I give it to Andre Munich.
No,
Possibly Dwight Joseph, possibly La Cruteria. It just really depends on how this last fight goes, man. I think the only person that's a shoe-in to get it, though, is Andre Munich, who withstood a hell of a firestorm to start the fight and came out with a submission win. So extremely impressed by his performance. Everybody else, I'd kind of say, I mean, it's not saying anything negative about him or anything. It's just, nobody's really put it out there, in my opinion. 7 first-round finishes for Harvey Park. Let's see, week 10. Oh, Impa Kazanagi. Impa Kazanagi getting his call, man. I like it. I like Kazanagi fought on this fight, right? Yeah, Impa Kazanagi beat John Lewis that night. Man's on his way up, dog. It's going to be a co-main event in Boston, I believe. It's the co-headline.
UFC contract Venezuelan Jamal Morales has been competing martial arts for much of his life. And if he can defeat New Mexico standout Marvin Clark, he may get a chance to fight one of the best UFC's out there.
Anyone 155 years beyond notice. You know, I hit hard, I took hard everything I do. He is full of power. It doesn't matter who you are. I got that kind of power. I can touch anyone and the fight's over. My name is Marvin Clark. I first want to close New Mexico. My goal is to finish anyone they come in front of me, knock them out. You know, I traveled black belt every day. I started at the same time on boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu.
Gotta see what my cousin says. My cousin's stuck in Texas, I think, on his way out to Wyoming. Oh, just got to Wyoming. The time change, I assume. Yo, shit, my man's had a 6-hour layover in Dallas. Talk about a nightmare. I couldn't imagine being 6 hours somewhere you're not supposed to be at. Like I didn't pay money to go to Dallas, you know, you pay money to go wherever, to Wyoming, whatever. Yeah, you're stuck in Dallas for 6 hours. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. I know with my anxiety and my temper, I'd be going nuts in that motherfucker. I'd be freaking out. Couldn't do it, guys. Couldn't do it. Would not last, especially if I tried to stay in the airport. Yeah, Robbie's done, Greg. Shout out to Greg. Greg Retzpiz. However you say your name. Shout out to Greg for always believing in Colby Covington and finally coming to fruition when he beat Robbie Lawler. I agree, man. I think Robbie might be done. I think they may try to give him a lesser opponent in his next fight, and that might be the real test, whether he's done or not, to see if he's going to hang him up or what's going to happen. Yeah, very shocked. He had nothing, dude. I thought that if Kobe stayed standing with him, every second that he stayed standing, it would be more of a chance for Robbie to win, but it wasn't. And he was just outstriking him, counter-striking him, and he didn't really let Robbie let off no power strikes at all. Very extremely surprising to me what we've seen from Robbie Lawler, especially from how well Robbie fought in the Ben Askren fight just before that. It was insane to see that that's how he handled Kobe Covington. But just goes to show, like I was saying earlier about Kobe Covington, we never really seen him fight anybody except for Damian Maia and Rafael dos Anjos. Now we've seen him beat Robbie Lawler. Maybe he's the real deal, you know? Maybe, I don't know if he's Kamaru Usman or Jorge Masvidal real deal, but he's proven himself to be real deal. You know, Holyfield. Harvey Park out of California here. Anybody else we can see here that we know? Media members. Brett's over there in the corner. Brett is the one who broke the Woodley versus Lawler 2 next. Maybe. I don't think they're gonna feed him Woodley now. I think Robbie. Let me go to the fucking. I'll look at you for a minute and I'll go. Robbie is at what now since this? I pushed Robbie all the way back to 11. And pushed Kobe to number 2. Tyron's still sitting at the number 1 contender, so I don't think necessarily that they're going to give the number 1 contender number 11. Sitting at number 10 is Ben Askren. So I'd actually like to see Robbie Lawler Ben Askren rematch, even though I think Ben Askren's got Damian Maia next. Maybe he fights. Oh, Ponzinibbio's been gone for a little while. Maybe Robbie Lawler tries to fight Ponzinibbio. Maybe Stephen Thompson's been out for a little while. Maybe Stephen Thompson Robbie Lawler fight. But I think either way. Oh, also maybe they give Robbie Lawler the winner of Vicente Luque, Mike Perry. Could be good for Mike Perry. But it's just, that's one of those things. I think they're not going to give him. They're definitely not going to give him top 5. Top 5 right now is Woodley, Covington, Masvidal, Leon Edwards, and RDA. And even though he already fought RDA, I don't think they're going to give him. Yeah, Perry versus Lawler is going to be sick. Perry's got Vicente Luque next. That's a tough fight for him. Vicente Luque sitting at 15. Perry wins that fight. I think he pushes up into the top 15 for sure. Neil Magny hasn't been active in a long time. Damian Maia's about to fight Ben Askren. He's probably going to lose that fight, you know. So there's going to be a little bit of clearing of way there. I think he's got a couple of good options, man. Yeah, Ponzinibbio smokes Lawler, I think. But the one that I want to see, that I like to see that fight. Honestly, if I had to rank the fights that I'd like to see Robbie Lawler in next, it would be him versus Ponzinibbio. That's number one. Number two would be Lawler versus Mike Perry or Vicente Luque, whoever wins that one. And then the third would be Robbie Lawler versus Stephen Thompson. I think that would also be a very good fight. And Stephen Thompson's taking some time off. Robbie obviously needs a win here. Almost kind of a must-win situation for both men, which makes it intriguing, you know. Ponzinibbio is one of the best strikers in that division, but, you know, let's just say this was a fluke and we still got the same old Robbie Lawler out. You got to watch for that power, man. You really got to watch out for that power. I think goes to middleweight now. I don't think he's got the size for middleweight. I think Darren Till just went to middleweight because he's not in the rankings for welterweight anymore. So I think he just went to middleweight. I'm not too sure who his first fight at middleweight is going to be, but actually, I want to see him fight. I want to see Darren Till versus Gastelum next, but I think Gastelum's going to fight. I think there's rumor that Gastelum is going to be fighting Jacare Souza in Madison Square Garden. I think it's 244 or something like that. Harvey Park has him up, has Morales up against the cage here. Morales delivering some knees to the body. Bigger like tall-wise or bigger like body-wise? Because he's definitely not bigger body-wise, even though Gastelum used to be a welterweight. So, I mean, to be honest, you look at their size like height-wise, and, yeah, they're probably pretty similar. Maybe Robbie's a little bit taller, but as far as, like, meat on their body, especially at a 185, weight at their natural weight class, I guess you would call it or whatever, I believe that Gastelum would be a lot bigger, a lot meatier, I guess I would say, than Robbie Lawler. Oh, Harvey Park just got clipped with that left hand. Right back in the clinch, though, after an inverted groin strike. A lot of clinch game, man. I was excited for this one. Looks heavier than Gastelum, but looks can be deceiving, I guess. No, dude. Look at. All right. Now I'm going to pull it up on my phone and show it on the thing. I don't think I get copyrighted for showing pictures. I'll look up Robbie Lawler first. We can see what all he looks like. Let's just even look at this picture. This picture was from when he fought Rory McDonald. Right here. That was when he fought Rory McDonald. But that's somewhat the kind of body frame that he has. Now you look at Kevin Gastelum. And you just look at his body frame at middleweight. And this dude's fucking ginormous when it compared to fucking Robbie, man. This dude looks like TRT Vitor compared to Robbie at middleweight, man. I don't even think it's close as far as like just muscle mass and just the size of the guy. Yeah, well, different. Wait, so you want to look at the look. All right, so that's him flexing like that, right? Like with his arms like that. Look at this. I'll show you almost the exact same stance for Robbie because I think I just seen it. All right, it's not the exact same stance, but it's somewhat the same stance. He just looks skinnier, man. He doesn't look as wide. He doesn't look, his arms don't look as big. Stomach 100% is smaller. But again, we're seeing. Yeah, they're not friends or anything. They're not going to pose the same. It's two completely different pictures on the internet. It's just Gastelum is one size all the way down. He's got a giant chest, and then he's fucking boxed out. Robbie's got a somewhat decent sized chest, and then he's just skinny. He's got a skinnier body, small, definitely 100% smaller arms. I don't know. I think it's close. But let's just all right for shits and giggles. Let's just look at their for this here. Robbie Lawler is 5'11". Kevin, yes, is 5'9", so he's a little shorter. So dude, you got to think about it. Like he's packing a 185-pound frame into 5'9", whereas the Robbie's packing 170 pounds into 5'11". So he's just got a lot. He's just way more stocky, And you were right, though. Robbie is 2 inches taller, so he's got the height advantage there. He probably has a reach advantage. Just is he going to let Gastelum take him down? And aside from that, in Gastelum's last fight with Adesanya, Gastelum had fucking insane striking. It's the best striking performance we've ever seen from Gastelum. I don't know how we got up talking about Robbie Lawler versus Gastelum, but I think that would be one of the biggest mismatches if Robbie tried to go up to middleweight, would be against Kevin Gastelum. Let me try to see somebody in the top 10 that I think he would do okay against. Robbie Lawler, UFC.com, middleweight Robbie Lawler. Chris Weidman, maybe, if he could defend the takedowns. Uriah Hall's a smaller middleweight. David Branch, not smaller, but David Branch has a style of fighting where Robbie could catch him. I don't see much. I think Adesanya smokes him. I think Yoel smokes him. Gastelum probably smokes him. Jack Hermanson probably smokes him. Jacare probably smokes him. I think Chris Weidman smokes him too. I think he's got a decent chance of beating Chris if he could stop the takedown, If he could stop the takedown and he can land a couple of power punches on Chris, it's decent. Derek Brunson, maybe. I think Robbie needs to stay at 170. That's where he needs to be at. And like you said earlier, Tyron versus Robbie too. If they, for some reason, give Robbie another chance and give him Tyron Woodley, because there's so much going on at the top of the division at welterweight, and he manages to beat Woodley, right back in the mix, and could easily be challenging for the belt, the welterweight belt, very soon. $28-12 significant strikes as Morales is up more than double. Harvey Park actually falls down to one of the low kicks from Morales, and then as he falls, he's going to get finished by leg kicks here. Harvey Park's going to get finished with leg kicks. Oh, that's a knockout. Morales knocks him out. He's definitely getting the contract without a doubt. Without a doubt, he's getting a contract. That was impressive. Almost finished him with leg kicks. And I think the only reason Harvey Park gave up like that was because he didn't want to get kicked in the leg again. He caught a straight to the face, like a straight right hand, and his head snapped back and he kind of sat down. But I don't think he got knocked out. I think he kind of just sold it a little bit to stop the leg kicks, to be honest. Those leg kicks were fucking brutal. Boom. That leg kick buckled him, and then he ate a right hand. Boom, right there as he was diving in for a takedown. Hit him with another leg kick, and that one, he almost fell with that one. Then after that one, he started standing flat up against the cage. Boom, ate that right hand, and then just stuck a hand up to tell him to stop. That's what made Herb run in there like that, because he just put his hand up like this to stop the fight. Great performance. Greg, if you're still out there, I'm sorry to cut you off while you're watching, bro, but we're going to be done here. I don't know, we might do something this weekend. It's the weekend before my daughter's birthday. We won't be – she might be with us next Saturday the 17th, so probably nothing that Saturday for 241. But possibly something this weekend. I don't know. Check out the always pay attention to the page. Come to the page every Tuesday, Saturday, just to see if we got something going on. If not, we'll see you again next Tuesday for week what of Dana White's Contender Series, just to make sure we could give you facts, no opinions. All facts I need to give. Contender Series. We have next week, August 13th. Is that a week from today? What's today? The 6th. Yes, the 13th. So next week we have week 8. William Knight, Devin Smith. Brooke Weaver is back after missing weight for his week 1 Contender Series fight. He will now fight in week 8. Guess they gave him we had 1 bye week, so what's that? 8 extra weeks to make weight. Hope he makes it. See you guys next Tuesday, if not this Saturday. If we're doing it this Saturday, of course, follow the Barbecue Pit _live on Twitter, the Barbecue Pit _MMA on Facebook or Instagram for updates to see maybe when we're doing Fight Companions. Who knows? Always check in. But we love you. Have a good night. Have a good Tuesday, Wednesday. And we'll see you possibly this weekend for some more fights in Uruguay. Holla, guys.